Hello everyone, as with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $1.43. Not a whole lot of price movement on XRP today. We're literally moving in between $1.42 and $1.44. You could see it on the 1 week chart as well. And everybody always asks the same thing. Why is the breakout not happening yet? It's because most people are still sitting on the sidelines. They need that breakout confirmation before they jump into this space. Bitcoin back above 77K. But again, not a whole lot of price movement there either. The charts still look identical for Bitcoin and XRP. And here's the fear and greed index. We are back to 44. We're now back to neutral. And that's because nobody's greedy right now. They're still playing it very conservative, waiting for breakout confirmation. Once that happens, things will turn around quickly. And everybody's now citing May is going to be the huge month for crypto. But we don't know that yet. We got to still wait and see what happens with real world events as well. Because this is what's been going on all day. President Trump is sending Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner to Pakistan for a second round of Iran talks, per CNN. Oil prices have fallen to a new low of the day on the news. But then this came out. Iran's supreme leader has forbidden negotiations with the U.S. under current conditions. So we're sending these guys over there to talk with Iran, but their supreme leader is saying it's forbidden to have negotiations with the United States. Then this dropped. Iran plans to make an offer aimed at satisfying U.S. demands. So nobody knows what's real, what isn't, what's true, what is just blatant lies. And you see it on the oil chart as well. So here's when that news originally dropped, and the price of a barrel of oil dropped to $83 and change. Then we found out that the talks were going to be forbidden, and right away, oil jumped right back up above $90 once again. So with all this uncertainty, that also plays out in the crypto space. Now, what's going on with Iran is no longer having a major effect on crypto, but it's also keeping a lot of investors on the sidelines. And here's the ETF tracker, 8.16 million in volume. And that's on a day, like I always tell you, where there's not a lot of price movement on XRP. Once volatility shows back up, you'll see volatility here as well. You'll start to see more volume flowing into the XRP ETFs. And all of this is going to coincide with each other. Say we were to have a breakout on XRP right now. All of a sudden, you have retail FOMO starting. Then you get that institutional FOMO starting. And the ETF FOMO all at the same time. Analyst sets timeline for XRP to hit $6. So XRP to $6 by June. Been saying for many weeks that the bottom is in. I believe the bottom was $1.30. But are we going to see $6 by June? That timeline is very possible. Because if we have a decent month of May, we could easily see new all-time highs and price discovery happening by June. And most of the chart guys are still predicting a summer run for XRP as well. One major platform slashed their XRP reserves by 200 million since the start of 2026, raising odds of a coming supply crunch. This time, it's on Coinbase. Usually, you see these announcements around Binance. Now it's Coinbase. You see it on other exchanges as well. That XRP is disappearing. It's leaving the exchanges at a very high rate. 7 billion XRP left exchanges. This comes from Ripple Bullwinkle. That is not retail traders moving to hardware wallets. This is coordinated, deliberate supply compression happening at the exact moment Ripple gains access to treasury decision makers at 5 of the world's largest banks. So he's saying this is coordinated, all this XRP leaving the exchanges. And I would agree with that. I think what we're about to see is something we didn't even think was possible for XRP just a year ago. A possible supply shock on XRP. All of a sudden, we get these massive spikes up on the price of XRP happening as the demand is rising. And think of it like this. When the breakout begins, if you start getting spikes like that, could you imagine the euphoria people are going to be having once you see XRP spike to maybe $30, $40, $50? Then it might come back down a little bit and then spike even higher. If that was to continue on, all of a sudden, people are going to be selling and they're not even going to be able to buy back in. That's why a supply crunch is huge for this cryptocurrency. XRP adds $900 million in tokenized assets within a day as total real-world assets hits all-time high of $3.5 billion. And yet people still think that XRP Ledger is only going to capture a very small percentage of tokenization. I think we're going to capture a much bigger slice of that pie. And that's trillions upon trillions of dollars. That hasn't even started yet. It is at such a low level right now. Wait until the DTCC starts to amp things up. NASDAQ amping things up later this year. This is going to have a huge impact in 2026 with the price of XRP. Then we start talking about where can XRP go in 2027. You know, right now we are at the calm before the storm. You see how the price of XRP is compressed right now, barely moving. Usually when you see that, you get this massive spike up coming out of nowhere. And I believe that's what's going to happen next. I don't think we're going to see these sub $1 prices that people keep talking about. Expert to XRP investors, nothing has changed. Only our bags getting bigger. And nothing changed with XRP at all. I keep seeing people saying it's over for XRP. The price has been going sideways for such a long period of time. But everything that we ever talked about is still happening in the background. And while you're at these price points, it allows people to build a better bag leading up to that parabolic run. That's the way I look at it. You know, don't sit there and wait for these sub $1 price points, because remember, that's only going to be a wick anyway. You're only going to see it wick down very fast and then all of a sudden a parabolic rebound. That's what people are citing will happen next. I think we're just going to start to break out from where we are right now. And a lot of people are going to have a lot of regret not buying at these prices, especially once XRP enters double digits. Once we get to $10 plus, I think you're going to see euphoria like we've never seen before. Because the narrative was always XRP will never go above $10 because of market cap and previous cycles. But when it happens, all of a sudden, the belief system is going to change very fast. Now people could see us getting to 3 digits and beyond. XRP holds as $1.31 as the base. The compression building and the setup is nearly ready. Quiet before the move. all in fear. Good. Watch the break. This is where patience starts to pay. So even Dark Defender is thinking that $1.30 is the base for XRP now. And it's because we bounced off of it so many times back here. Now he's expecting a break upward where we could start to head back to all-time highs again. And you see, it's still within 2026. I see people saying that XRP isn't going to reach an all-time high until 2028. And that's because people are still following the 4-year cycles. The 4-year cycle, in my opinion, is finished. I think this is the transition period where we go from where we are right now into a utility-driven market, where utility is driving the prices of these cryptocurrencies. Well, you know, you could see how everything changed during this past couple of months even. You know, Bitcoin doesn't react the way it used to, and a lot of people are now looking past Bitcoin already. The return on investment is no longer there in Bitcoin, not for retail investors. XRP has averaged 86,000 new wallets per month in 2026. Despite recent rebound efforts, the XRP price is still down 22% this year. Throughout the year, XRP has recorded consistent monthly losses, with March 2026 being the 6th consecutive red candle. XRP recorded an average of 137,000 new wallets last year during the bull run. Total XRP wallets now have increased 7,805,241, an addition of 343,000 wallets this year so far. You know why there's new wallets now? Because people are entering this market at lower prices. At higher prices, people tend to exit their position. Lower prices, new people want to get in before the next breakout happens. And the wallet increase is showing you that there is still demand for XRP, even on the retail side as well. And like I said at the beginning of this video, there was not a whole lot of price movement on XRP today. And a lot of people get bored with that. But this is where you accumulate. This is where you leave it all on the table. You don't want to have regrets later when XRP is achieving new all-time high after new all-time high. I always said millionaires are made at the bottom. And this is where you build for that to happen. You know, most people right now are getting frustrated with XRP. When frustration is at an all-time high and negativity is also at an all-time high, you know we are about to break out. Because every time in previous cycles, we've seen this. And it all happens right before we see a parabolic run. And that's what I believe is loading next. But until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.